Today we're gathered at the heart of the United States in Washington, D.C., at the United States Capitol building for the International Interfaith Conference, which is called United in Liberty, the Rise of Spiritual Diplomats, led by Pastor Mark Burns. And it is a great honor and pleasure to have you here with us as a speaker and as a respected guest. And thank you so much for dedicating your time to speaking with us. It's a great pleasure.
Mutually, it's a true honor to be here today with Pastor Burns. He just blows my mind, his passion and his mission, and I'm proud to stand. We see eye to eye in both our missions, and it's like a match made in heaven.
You know, the conference title is Spiritual Diplomats, right? So what does spiritual diplomacy, what does this concept mean to you personally? How do you
It's so beautiful, and I'll tell you why. Because spirituality is something that each person has. And without spirituality, as I spoke earlier, I said, like, people don't have a meaning to life. So pretty much people are living a life that's shallow. There's no values, there's confusion, there's frustration, there's anger. Children aren't doing well in schools. You know, spirituality, regardless of, this is an interfaith. People have different faiths, but it gives them direction and guidance. It's a GPS, and it gives them a meaning for life. And by being part of something spiritual like this, we are gathering together saying, regardless of, we could agree to disagree, and we don't necessarily disagree. We have different upbringings, and different cultures, but we understand that we all focus on the spiritual aspect of what God wants from us to respect to respect life, and to stand up for each other and empower each other.
Looking into the future, what opportunities do you see for, when faith leaders, civic leaders, government officials come together, just like today, what opportunities do you see for the betterment of the society?
So I want to tell you, part of my speech I wanted to say, but I had a limited amount to speak, is I wanted to point out to the crowd and applaud Pastor Burns for saying, I'm a networker. I have from the biggest networks in the world, okay? National, international. I understand the work that went in, each person from different countries, from different cultures, from different leaderships. I understand the value that he brought into the room over here. I don't think there was one other person who could get up there and say that he understands not just the value and the quality and the takeaway, but I see the vision of how many people are going to make change to the world, and how many lives, millions, if not tens, maybe hundreds of millions, lives are going to be affected from this unity event. It was international, faith-based in the Capitol, from people from all over the world. I myself, met so many great leaders who came over to me to introduce themselves, and obviously they were very respectful, and they appreciated my message, what I feel was very powerful and very focused for all faith-based leaders to have takeaways. And I really told the pastor after he spoke, I said, I love how he said, if anyone's here to take pictures, leave. We're about, the takeaway. This is not a photo op event. And my speech, what I spoke about, was about takeaways and how we could improve relationships, how we could hold faith leaders and a lot of, people who are appointed by government. You have liaisons, and they abuse their authorities for the personal interest and gains. I think that's the number one obstacle we have today, because if we as faith-based leaders represent so many millions and millions and tens of millions and hundreds of millions of people, each community, whether it's Christian, Jewish, whether it's evangelical, whether it's Muslim, and you have a person appointed by the president in the White House who's supposed to be responsive to you, and they're not responsive, they're misrepresenting the administration, the president, and they're holding back people who need help. And you have to, as a faith leader, stand up and not be intimidated, and stand up and tell this person, I'm sorry, you're not doing your job. And when they hit back, many times it happens to me, because, I don't take salary. I'm probably the only people here who don't take a paycheck. And I tell them I have no so threaten me. What we blackmail? What am I losing? So I'm here to speak on behalf of the people. But that's a broken system, because you can have us, the faith leaders, the people who need help, and if you come to the crisis mode and you have to go higher and you can't get through there, you're not going to be able to help the people. Thank God I have the relationships with administration directly and the cabinet members. I go above them, I help. But for the average faith-based leader, my mission today was like, let's fix what's broken and let's not be afraid, intimidated to speak up and call out those who have to be fired, have to be replaced.
Thank you so much. That's a very powerful message, very strong one. And also based on your professional experience, life experience, what perspective do you bring to this conference? How do you think this encouragement to take action can inspire the team?
So I have so much to say on this question, and I encourage everyone to go to my website, ojchamber.com, and also to Google Orthodox Jewish Chamber of Commerce, Google my name, Duvi Honig, because to start to speak about what we've done already on ways to empower people and bring communities and governments together. We made peace between countries through commerce. I represent, World Trade Week. I bring all the ambassadors and trade ministers and consuls generals together and unify them and unite them. I established a national roundtable for presidents of chambers of commerce over here with the Secretary of Commerce last year, the first time ever, that empowers all 50 states from the boots, boots on the ground, from the bottom up. And I chair it on behalf of the United States government. I created, just 2 weeks ago, established Bobby Kennedy and Dr. Oz to recognize Lyme disease and health and tick-borne infections as a chronic illness that's going to help, be able to be covered and recognize insurances and be able to update the CDC guidelines, Surgeon General's. All these things come from uniting relationships and representing a bigger picture, because it's not me, it's the networks I represent, and the relationships in the Muslim world, in the Christian world, in the African American world, in the Hispanic, Latino world, and I go on South America, Europe, and Asia, and Middle East, Israel, we have MOUs with them also. Governments signed MOUs with us, with my chamber. So we turned into a center that creates solutions. I wrote legislation like Labor Day, called Economic Development Day. What's signed into law, passed both houses. One day a year we stimulate the whole, everyone equally. So, and then all the briefs to protect religious values, whether it's not working on Sunday, whether it's not working on Saturday, whether it's value related, whether it's speaking up. So, in other words, I am proud of my name, Orthodox Jewish Chamber of Commerce. People tell me, just call it Jewish Chamber. I'll tell you, 99.9% of the people we deal with are not Jewish at all. We use the strength of our business relations and since Jews are all over the world and our political relations to be able to influence policy, advocate on behalf of others, help empower others, and create solutions. So I think when everyone unites, and I think the point to say over here, to take away, is that a lot of people who are very selfish. They think like one chamber of commerce or one organization as yours is competing with the other one. I totally don't see it that way. We're acting as an umbrella. I want to have more relationships. I want to include everyone in our networks. That's what we did today. That's what the pastor did today, brought everyone together. And by doing that, he showed that we're not intimidated by anyone. We don't feel threatened. We're above everyone. When we unite, everyone should act that way. And I think that's the message to take away from Pastor Brones today. And that's my message for my organization. And that's why we're able to align so much and accomplish so much together. So I encourage all of you to be able to always reach out of your circles. I promise you, it's always rewarding. The broader your network, the more reach you have, the more influence you have. Your network is your net worth. Stop being selfish. Don't think, I don't want to share a contact. Everyone knows that you come to Duvi Honig and I give them contacts unlimited to the highest levels. I don't say it's my contact, I'm not giving it to you. How can you need help? Here it is, and we're here to share. That makes us stronger together. That makes us better together. And that's what the pastor did today.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Honig. This is amazing. Thank you for this meaningful conversation. And thank you for what you do.
And I look forward, this is only the beginning, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.